Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome to another video. I guess that's my intro now, isn't it? I've done it so many times. Wow. Probably could have picked a better one, but I guess the intro chose me. Oh, that was bad. I'm so sorry. But anyway, welcome to a build. If you don't watch the Witch in the City challenge, you have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm building a house for Vivian Woods. Vivian, I thought I was going to keep her in the city. Well, she's still in the city. But I thought I was going to keep her in an apartment longer, and I'm just sick of the apartment. Not the apartment itself. I love it. I built it. I would hope I love it. But just kind of doing apartment things is getting on my nerves. I don't know. So I just want to move so she can start gardening and getting on with her witchy life. So I started building this house. I like how this house ends up. I don't have any problems with it. You might notice that there is less decor and decoration and clutter and stuff in this house than there are in some of my other builds, and that's because initially this house was supposed to be built on a budget, and that budget was 15,000 simoleons. And in case you can't guess by the tone of my voice, I failed at going with that budget. Vivian, because this is meant to be for Vivian. By the way, side note, if you have seen, even if you haven't watched Witch in the City, if you have seen the City Chic apartment build, that's the apartment that she's moving out of. And so you might recognize elements of the decor in that apartment and that come into play in this build. But anyway, Vivian has 20,000 simoleons. And so I was like, well, let's try to say like 15,000 simoleons. And then we can expand if we need to. Well, not if, when we need to / want to. And so I was starting, and that's why you'll notice through most of the video that I have the side panel open with all the lot traits, because I was trying to watch how much the lot was valued at. And I did the whole kitchen, and then I was already 5,000 simoleons away from the budget, and the kitchen was pretty sparse anyway, and so I just I let go a little bit. So I think it ends up being like 30,000 simoleons, which isn't that bad. It's not a starter home at that point, but it is affordable. Like your sim could easily save up for it. And even if you're, I'm not the kind of person that really buys houses unfurnished for my sims. Like I like to walk in there and get things going. But if you're the kind of person that likes to get the outsides of houses and then move in unfurnished, then I'm sure it's affordable at that point. But the City Chic apartment that she's living in now is, I wouldn't say very modern, but it's fairly modern, and it's very city aesthetic. And so this house is kind of less city chic, it's not city chic, but less modern, more cozy, but with dashes of that in there, because it is the same sim that's going to be living there, and I'm not imagining that her personality is suddenly changing. Also, this room isn't really the room everyone needs. It's going to be her collectibles room, because she does have a lot of collections to complete for the Witch in the City challenge. She has to do all the nature challenges. Or not nature challenges. She has to do all the natural collections, and so that's the beginnings of her collection room. So the house will also be cheaper if you take that room away. I mean, at least a little bit. The shelves are like 200 and something simoleons a piece, and there's that table, and then the room itself is painted and has flooring. So, I mean, that's at least 1,000 simoleons if you delete that. But, I mean, even if you didn't delete the room, I would keep it as a small bedroom or something, just because I like how the outside of the house looks. Like, I don't know if anyone else cares, but just the outside shape of the buildings matters to me a lot. And I get a little I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I get bothered by the outsides of my build sometimes. I'm just like, no. But then I'll be driving around or something, and I'll see buildings where I live, and I'm like, if I built that in The Sims, I would be so upset with myself. But here, I don't mind it. And I'm not sure why that is. Maybe I'm just setting myself to too high of a standard when I build things in The Sims, or maybe it just feels different looking at it through the lens of, I don't know. But yeah, also there is minimal landscaping so far, and that's because Vivian's got to do a lot of gardening, and so I figured the plants would kind of come with that. So I did do a couple of flower beds and some bushes in the back, and there's a tree, but there's not any major landscaping. And this is on a 30 by 30 lot in, I don't know what district of San Myshuno it's in. I'm so sorry. But it's the Spice District. I'm sorry, because it's not the old salt lot. It's the one next to the old salt lot. Because I was originally going to do the old salt, and then I don't know, I just changed. But so clearly this house will fit on a smaller lot, if that's how you feel, if you want to put it on a smaller lot. But I mean, I needed room to expand. And if you wanted this to be a small family home, like you turn the collection room into a bedroom, and so you have like a couple and a kid or something like that, or even like a handful of roommates or something, I don't know, whatever your dream is, you could put a small household in this house, and then put it on a bigger lot and have a ton of room for like a pool. And then if they do have a kid, if you do go the family route, then you have space for like a playground, depending on what your Sims do. So I don't know, I don't mind. Again, I've been kind of owning these smaller builds, and it makes me really happy. But speaking of build sizes, I want to do like an immaculate build. And I don't mean a big build. I mean a huge build. You've probably seen where people build like these castles or these whole like Italian cities or something. And I know I've never done it before, so I know I can't do something quite that dramatic as of yet. But I want to kind of ease into it. I want to kind of find the headspace to start figure out how to organize something like that. So if anyone has like a suggestion or even something as little as a theme to try to work on a big build like that, everything I build, no matter, even if I'm not building something to post it, like I'm just like, I feel like building, I record it just in case I end up liking it and want to post it. So I will be fooling around with bigger builds. How many bigs was that? A lot. But you know what I mean? Like, they're just monstrous builds. How many different ways can I say that this is a really big build? Oh my gosh. But you know what I mean? And so I've never done it, and I always really like them, and I want to play with it. So, especially the landscaping, because I've seen people do some really cool landscaping where it looks like multi-leveled landscapes and things like that. So, I think it'd be cool. Another thing about this house, it's kind of the weird, it's like the old salt in some ways, not in design or anything like that, because the old salt is fairly modern. It's fairly modern, but so it's not modern like that, but it is kind of that little house in the middle of the city that's kind of like taking up some real estate space that there's probably some construction group out there that's mad, like, hey, we could have built some more townhouses on that lot kind of thing. So it is like that, but I think it's going to be really cool. It's also going to get more witchy over time because there's going to be a lot of nature around. It's not going to be this much of a plain lot, but I didn't want to do one. I wanted to stay as close to my budget as possible, and two, I didn't want to do too much because I do want to have to play the house, like. That's why the collection room's small, because she doesn't have that many collectibles yet. But as she gets more, I'll expand the collection room. Didn't put any gardening stuff out there because she's going to start gardening, and I'm going to, I don't want it to just be set up. I want to kind of, build it up playing with the sim. And the same thing goes with cat stuff, because she does have her familiar doodle. And so I didn't put any cat stuff in this house because when Vivian moves out of her apartment, she didn't pay for it. I just dropped her in there, bloop. And so she doesn't get anything out of that apartment when I move her. I'm just going to zoop her on over to this house, and she's not going to get any of that stuff. But she will get everything she has bought and put into the house since I put her in there. So she'll have her collectibles. She'll have the cat tower and the litter box and just the little things like that she's actually bought. So, yeah, I don't know. There's something it's kind of plain in some ways. There's very minimal clutter. But in other ways, it's kind of, even though it's a little more expensive, it's still kind of that starter house because you have to add to it. And that's kind of the cool part for me, I think, about The Sims is like when you go into a build that is not, even if, say, you downloaded a house from the gallery. I mean, maybe not even this one, but even for me at least, anytime I download a house from the gallery, even if I absolutely adore it, like the design of it, when I pick Sims to move into it, I'll always modify the house at least a little bit just to match those Sims a little bit more, or, I mean, unless you're picking houses and making specific Sims for the house. But yeah, I don't know. The video is about to come to an end, so I'm going to let you go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, leave suggestions for other builds if that's what you feel. I don't know. I'll see you in the next episode. This isn't an episode. Oh gosh. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.